Okay, we hanging at the Red Room tonight. I'll be your host for the evening. Let's bring out the fighters. Let's get busy, dog.
You gonna be crying like a bitch after I get my hands on you, boy.
Game day, punk, and you about to take one for the team.
I'ma take your tongue out and lick my ass with it.
Cause this ain't no goddamn vacation. You better hop back on the plane, bitch.
Hey, we ready to get this started.
Hello everybody, this is Psych, and I'm just giving a brief little update video because, as I'm sure you noticed, no, there have not been any videos from me in the recent weeks, and I know I said there was going to be, and allow me to explain the reasons why. Well, the day that I recorded my last update video saying that Banjo-Tooie Part 1 was going to be up the next day, I did say, you know, so long as everything, no unforeseen circumstances, and, well, unfortunately, unforeseen circumstances happened because that night, in between that recording and the next day, when I was going to finish recording Banjo-Tooie, I just came down with this just instant illness, like a cold or something, but it just hit me so hard. Like, harder than these guys are being hit right now. It just, blah. And it was just so, like, seemingly out of nowhere, and it just really messed me up. Like I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, but it was really just, like, where the hell did this come from? This sucks. So, needless to say, that was the reason why I didn't get to recording videos. I was trying to heal from that, and then in that time, I think it was within the week, I actually started a new full-time temporary job as a stand-in for the main character of a new film project that's going on right now, being, what's today? The 19th, March 19th, 2019. Which is great. It's a fantastic spot to be in, and now I can finally understand why people get so excited about doing stand-in work. For those of you who don't know, what a stand-in is basically they look for somebody with dimensions very similar to the actor that they're standing in for. Height, body structure, hairstyle sometimes, and all that sort of stuff. And so when they get to set and they start filming, what they'll do is they'll get the stand-in to come in and they'll use them to set up the shot. The lighting, the camera angles, all that sort of stuff. So that way when the main actor comes in, all that's already done. So basically all I have to do is just a light camera adjustment and then hit record and off you go. So I'm assuming that it's far more efficient to do that than it is just to have the main actor be there for the camera setups and whatnot, which I'm assuming is the reason why stand-ins have become so important as of recent. So that's what I've been doing, and I really, really love doing it. It's so great. Best job I ever had, hands down. But the thing is, I work every single day, practically. Like, I haven't had a day. I had today off, but that's because I had other engagements that I just simply could not postpone. So, but aside from that, I'm commissioned to work every single day, and then and that's Monday through Friday. And every day I work, it's like 12 to 14 hours a day, because that's just the nature of the film industry. And I'll be doing this for like the next 19 weeks, which is roughly around mid-July. So I just simply don't have a lot of time. Like, there are some days that literally after I get done filming, I come home, do my bedtime routine, and then just go straight to bed because I don't have time for anything else. So that's basically what's been going on there. And even on the weekends, I work on the weekends too, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So I just, that's what I do. So I apologize. I know I intended to make a lot more. I intended to do 2 videos a week, one of Banjo-Tooie and then one of when I do my Let's Replays. And obviously with everything that went on, the illness is really what started it. Like, as soon as I got better from that, then I could resume doing so. And then this opportunity came up, and I just simply could not let it go. Especially because people of my dimensions usually aren't called to be stand-ins, so it was a very rare opportunity. And I just simply could not give it up. And also, it would look good, you know, professionally, to show that I had the tenacity to be a professional stand-in 5 days a week for 20 weeks. That looks good on a resume. But I suppose. What I will say, my promise to you, unless of course unforeseen circumstances, that's kind of the important word of the deal. Every day that I do have off, I will record something. More than likely it'll be an episode of Let's Replay, of which, depending on how the rest of my day today goes, I may work on that instead, because that takes a lot less effort for me to do, because I just kind of, you know, throw it on, turn on the recording, get the audio ready, and just play. So it's a lot easier for me to do. Banjo-Tooie would be pretty simple, especially the gameplay part, but the thing is, the main reason for that project is for the audio, the character voices and whatnot, and that is a bit of work. So I just, you know, I need to be as professional with that as I can. And not to say that I'm just going to be lazy with my Let's Replays or anything like that, but I think you know what I'm saying. It's a lot simpler for me to just throw it on, get it going, and, you know, do what I need to do with that. So that's what's going on with that. So I'm just saying, don't expect Banjo-Tooie anytime soon. Be much more prepared for an episode of a Let's Replay. And even that, don't expect that anytime soon. Like, I can't promise one video a week, just because, again, I work pretty much every day. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. I guess I'll talk about this game, this weird thing that you've been seeing this entire time. This is Def Jam Fight for New York. One crazy ass game. Where to even start? The Def Jam series is so just weird. It's such an interesting concept. It's basically a pro wrestling game, but replace the wrestlers with rappers. Which sounds interesting, like an eyebrow raiser, but then you put it together and you're like, oh wow, that is a good idea. That's really cool. Now, especially the first game in the series, Def Jam Vendetta, was very much a pro wrestling game. All the events took place in wrestling rings, and you could actually do like turnbuckle moves and rope attacks and all that sort of stuff. And then when this game came out, it didn't have such an emphasis on pro wrestling. As you can see, this is more just like literal street fighting, and it's so good. Like, this is a pro wrestling game the way like WrestleMania 19's a pro wrestling game. Like, not really, even though in both games there are wrestling rings, but the majority of the gameplay doesn't take place in them. And there's like weapons, you know, bottles and shovels and pipes and wrenches and stuff like that. Just a lot of objects you can throw your opponent into. Your finishing moves, like what you're seeing right now, are very, very just ridiculous. Like, super outlandish. The rest of the moves in this game are pretty realistic, and that's because this game is developed by AKI, who also developed like every pro wrestling game made from like the mid-90s through to this point, including WWF No Mercy, which you can kind of tell a lot of the moves are taken straight from that and then given a higher frame rate to make them look spiffier. And they also made like Virtual Pro Wrestling and like all the WCW and other like WWF games like that. So, and also just the insanity of this game, the fact that like this match alone, I'm Henry Rollins. He's not a rapper. versing Danny Trejo and Omar Epps, which aren't even musicians. And then the fourth guy is actually Jacob the Jeweler, aka I can't remember his last name, but he's the owner of Jacob & Co., the jewelry store based out of Manhattan. So, sure, why the heck not? Anyways, highly recommend this game. I will say though, it is a bit on the expensive side. Like, I got a really good deal on this game. That being said, I still dropped $50. So just keep that in mind. But do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. And that's my review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you as soon as I can for the next video that I can make.